Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. We're back in the world of rat behaviour with two videos that look at tail action. Several rat behaviours have more than one interpretation. Some of these are the walling that we saw in a recent video, eye-boggling, bruxing, and the behaviour that we're looking at today, which is tail wagging. Tail wagging represents strong emotion, usually rage or pleasure, though I've seen it when it doesn't fit into either of these categories. So we have to look at the context to try to see what the rat is experiencing. And even then, it's not easy. Both clips today are ambiguous. So let's look at the first one and ask the question, what is this rat feeling? At first glance, we could say that the context here is pleasure, and I actually think that that is the most likely scenario. But there are several indicators that we should probably explore a little deeper. What happens if the rat is experiencing this as immobilization? The tail wagging stops as the thumbs stop moving. I think one explanation for this is that the thumbs are triggering the tail wagging in a physical way. In the same way as sometimes when you scratch a dog in a certain place, they will lift a hind leg and move it up and down. But I can't assume that that's the case, because what if the rat is experiencing this as immobilization? Then the underlying emotion might be panic, a stress response. The only way to know whether or not this is true would be for the person to actually take their hands off the rat for a second and just see if the rat immediately starts to move away. If not, then it's safe to say the rat is consenting and the response is pleasure. If the rat moves away at the first opportunity that's given, the chances are that this was something else, and most likely I would suggest immobilization and panic. It's very difficult to know if a rat is panicking because it's an internal response, and freeze is one of the immediate stress responses. So freeze will make a rat look like this, very still. In fact, the only thing moving here is the tail. And that could be an emotional response to something other than pleasure. So I use this clip as a great indicator of the need to look closely at a situation and to always give the rat the choice to move on. The next clip is even more tricky because there's no obvious way to test out any theories because the rat is in a cage. Let's look at it and then we can discuss what's going on. So this clip is longer, so I just thought I would talk over it. So we have a rat here who is nest building and completely oblivious to anything else that's happening. And she carries on with that quite happily. And then in a moment she's going to notice that she's being filmed and watch her tail. So she did a big squiggle there and she's going to do another big tail shake in a minute. And then this clip just carries on, and there is a little bit of tail action that's going on as she's coming closer to the camera. And my question here is this a happy rat? So we'll just watch the tail action in slow motion. And really, the answer is, I haven't a clue. I watched it on a bigger screen and I still couldn't get any more details. So I've basically moved to the wider context, and that is that this is a rat who's new in a home and is quite a scared rat, not yet fully settled in. So I genuinely feel that the chances of this being a greeting behaviour, a pleasure to see you behaviour, is extremely low. I think that she was very settled doing what she was doing, going about her business and building her new nest. And she's suddenly affronted by the presence of the human and the camera watching her. And while rats don't understand what that is, they feel the intention behind it of the person watching. And I think she's just reacting to say, I'm not wanting your attention at the moment. And for that to be seen in a tail wag, it has to be felt as an extreme emotion. What the emotion is based on is likely to be the rage emotional system rather than either fear or panic. She doesn't do anything to suggest either fear or panic. So she's likely to be frustrated or even angry to be disturbed, or she may not have had enough experience of a camera to not think danger. We don't know. All we can do is consider the most likely scenario as being an educated guess. I've never heard or seen a rat wagging their tail in greeting at a human on the other side of the cage bars. And given her new and fragile bonds with her human, for her to do this feels almost definitely not the case. So tails are interesting communicators, but often leave a lot unsaid. Context is everything. I hope you've enjoyed this video and will subscribe to see more. Thank you for watching. Bye.